Hello, everyone. This is Ms. Sahar. I'm an IGCSE Environmental Management teacher. And in this video, I will be explaining exactly what the syllabus entails, the chapters. I'm going to be talking about the IGCSE papers. So let's start sharing my screen and displaying the PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you a brief introduction. The code for IGCSE Environmental Management is 0680. What are the objectives of this video? We are going to talk about exactly what is environmental management, what to expect in that course. I'm going to be talking about the content. I'm going to be talking about the chapters that you need to study in order to succeed in the exam. And I'm going to be talking about the IGCSE exam papers. Okay, what is environmental management? Basically, the Cambridge IGCSE syllabus is designed to teach learners about sustainable development in a world where the security of resources and life-sustaining systems is endangered by human impact. What do they mean by sustainable development? Basically, we need to try as much as possible to save the resources that are found on Earth, such as coal, such as oil, such as natural gas, any metals such as aluminium, titanium. All of these resources, we need to be able to save them in order for the future generations to enjoy using them as much as we did. So this is basically the core idea of environmental management, sustainability. It draws upon disciplines such as biology, earth science, geography, economics. So if you're into any of these subjects, so you're going to probably find environmental management interesting. Learners also gain an understanding of the Earth's natural systems and how people use natural resources. Okay, so each chapter in the environmental management textbook is divided into 3 parts. This one is the first part, the Earth's natural systems and basically how people use these natural resources. So that's the first part of any of the chapters found in the environmental management textbook. Second, we investigate the impact of human development on the environment. Okay, so because of what we do and the things that we use or the natural resources that we use, obviously there has to be an impact on the environment. Because of that, usually it's a negative impact. So that's the second part of any chapter in the environmental management textbook. The third part is basically how we can manage this. How can we try as much as possible to control the damage that we usually cause and inflict upon the environment. So each chapter in the environmental management textbook is divided into 3 parts. The first part, we explain Earth's natural systems, such as, for example, the rock cycle or the nitrogen cycle or the carbon cycle. These are Earth's natural systems. How we use these natural resources. Okay, that's still the first part of any of the chapters. Second part, we investigate the impact of human development on the environment. Basically the impact, or most likely the negative impact that humans inflict upon the environment. Third part of the chapter is how we can actually manage this damage and how we can control this negative impact on the environment. Okay, so we're going to talk about the chapters and content. There are 9 chapters in the environmental management textbook. It is easy to divide these chapters into categories. There are 4 categories basically where we can divide these chapters. The first one is the lithosphere. Basically, this one talks about the Earth's natural resources that are found at or just below the land surface. Okay, so anything that has to do with rocks, anything that has to do with minerals, anything that has to do with energy resources such as oil, coal, and natural gas. This has to do with the lithosphere, and this is basically the main focus of chapter 1 and 2. So chapter 1 and 2 are both focused on the lithosphere and its exploitation. The second category is the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere is concerned with water. Okay, so any water that is found on land, any water that is found or the resources that are found in the oceans basically has to do with the hydrosphere. Chapters 4 and 5 are both concerned with the exploitation of water and oceans, and we also talk about a strong emphasis on management. The third category is the atmosphere. This is basically the air, gases, water vapor that are engulfing the Earth. Chapter 6 and 7 both focus on the atmosphere. We also have the biosphere. The biosphere talks about living Earth of plants and animals, including humans. Chapters 8 and 9 focus on the biosphere. Now, if you've noticed, we've missed out chapter 3. Chapter 3 is basically concerned with agriculture and the environment. If you think about it, agriculture and the environment is basically the 4 of these categories. Why? Because we're using the lithosphere, because soil is involved in agriculture. We're using the hydrosphere because plants and grass and anything that has to do with agriculture, obviously plants need water in order to survive. Number 3, the atmosphere. Again, plants and the living things need the atmosphere because this is where respiration occurs. And finally, the biosphere, because this is the living Earth, because we're talking about plants and we're talking about animals as well as human beings who feed on both these plants and animals. Okay, so these are the chapters. There are 9 chapters. This is basically a short course, which is one of the advantages of taking it up. Chapter 1, we talk about rocks and minerals and their exploitation. Chapter 2, we talk about energy and the environment. Chapter 3, we talk about agriculture and the environment. Chapter 4, water and its management. Chapter 5, oceans and fisheries. Chapter 6, managing natural hazards. Chapter 7, the atmosphere and human activities. Chapter 8, human population. And finally, Chapter 9, natural ecosystems and human activities. These are the 9 chapters. Okay, now let's talk about the IGCSE Environmental Management exam papers. We have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 is theory. Okay, it's a theory paper. It's an hour, 45 minutes long. 1 hour, 45 minutes long. Basically, this paper is divided into 2 sections. Section A is basically very short answer and structured questions. They're straightforward questions. They're very theoretical. This is why this is a theory paper. So this one is 20 marks. It's out of 20 marks. Section B is short answer and extended response questions that are based on related source material. This part is 60 marks. Okay. For the most part, this is, again, a theory paper. So what you learn in the course, basically all you have to do is just copy paste, as they say. The total for this paper is 80 marks and it is externally assessed. Okay, we also have paper 2. Paper 2 is a management and context paper. It's 1 hour, 45 minutes. What we mean by management in context is basically we learn and we study what's in the course, and then we apply the knowledge that we have on certain situations. Okay, so usually this paper is case studies, what they call case studies. Case studies are specific situations, specific events, specific environmental impacts that happen in any part of the world, and they give you that case study in that paper, in paper 2, and all you have to do is try to answer the questions by applying your knowledge. Okay, so it's not very straightforward. Okay, all you have to do is use your critical thinking skills and what you've studied in the course in order to apply the knowledge in your answers. Okay, so here what we have is a written paper consisting of short answer, data processing and analysis, as well as extended response questions that are based on source material. Paper 2 also has more graphs, more pie charts, more data analysis, more data processing than paper 1. Okay, so this is why I use the term critical thinking skills, because it is not really a straightforward paper. Okay, you need to be able to think outside the box, as they say. You will be expected to make use of the information from the source material in order to help illustrate issues of environmental management. This paper is also 80 marks and it is externally assessed. Now, your final grade will be 50% paper 1 and 50% paper 2. Okay? Now, who can take environmental management? You need to understand that it's accepted by universities and employers as proof of knowledge and understanding of issues concerning sustainable development and how the Earth's resources are used, okay? You're going to be drawing upon disciplines such as biology, earth science, geography, economics, demographics, a little bit of politics as well. So I've mentioned this in the beginning of the video. If you're interested in any of these subjects, this is probably going to be an interesting subject for you. You're also going to examine the impact of development on the environment, considering issues such as environmental pollution and resource depletion. Again, remember each chapter has that part where we study the impact of the human development on the environment, and usually it's negative. You will also study or explore ways in which you may change the nature of future development in order to make it more sustainable. Okay, in order to try as much as possible to save the resources that we have so that the future generations can enjoy them as well. And by the way, this fourth point is where the politics comes in, because you will be talking about public policy. How does the government put laws in order to ensure that the humans that live in a certain country follow these laws and make sure that the environment is saved, basically. Okay. There's also another really important point that you need to know before taking up this course, is that environmental management expects students to have a high mastery of the English language. Why? Because many of the questions that are posed in these papers require the students to argue, persuade, as well as discuss their points of view in certain environmental issues, okay? So your English language needs to be strong. Not only that, but you need to be a student who enjoys writing, okay? If you're someone who enjoys writing and can express your opinion strongly and in perfect English, then you can definitely take up the course. I would personally recommend that you take this course based on your IGCSE English grade. Okay, I really hope this video was helpful in introducing environmental management, and hopefully I will have my contact information put up on the groups as well, so that you can contact me if you feel like this is the subject for you. Thank you so much, and hopefully I will see you soon.